Hello, everybody. This is Charles Tank Harris with the LoseItWithMeBlog.com. Thank you once again for tuning in. I appreciate the support as always. And as promised, I got a couple of questions on the Facebook page that I told that I would answer via the video this week. And that's what I plan on doing tonight. One of the things that happened this week is I was traveling. As I've said in previous videos, I travel quite a bit with my job. And as a result, it's been part of the challenge and hurdle of being able to stick to some type of regimen, both eating and working out when you're in different locations and getting up at various times and having different time zones. But without, spending too much time worrying about the hurdles and the obstacles, I'm going to focus on the positive things that have been going on. And I was in Las Vegas for 11 days. I actually left Las Vegas for one of the 11 days to go to San Diego and see the Monday Night Football game. Denver defeated San Diego 35-24 after being down 24-0 at the half. It was quite an exhilarating game and an enjoyment. And yet another food challenge of being in a suite packed to the brim with different things to eat. I wanted to spend this particular video talking about two things that have been brought to my attention, one on my Facebook page, the other one just by going about my daily business in the gym. And they both tie into the same thought process, but one of them comes from a standpoint of working out, and the other comes from a standpoint of eating. I was in the gym about a week ago, and as you guys know, I started on October 1st back in the gym, so it's been literally 2.5 weeks. I think I've had 12 workouts because I worked 3 days on, 1 day off. And the first week that I went in, my goal is always to do a 20-minute intensity treadmill workout, which for those who aren't familiar with the page and looking at the speeds, it varies the speed through a 4-minute cycle, 1 minute at a time, 4 times. And the goal is to try to get the intensity up to the point where I'm running for every minute of the treadmill workout, which that is a long way off. But the first day I went in, I set a goal for myself that I wasn't able to accomplish. I had to slow this treadmill down. And now for the last week, I've been hitting that number without a problem. Also during the first week, I had to break up the treadmill workout and my lifting workout. I had to go to the gym twice a day. And now I'm able to do both workouts in one session with like a 5-minute break in between the treadmill and the lifting. So I will still be going twice a day, doing swimming or something else in the afternoon, but it's really an accomplishment to be able to combine both of the other workouts in one session as opposed to having to do 2 separate ones. But it brought me to what I wanted to tell you about, just the things that you'll encounter if you are, and I guess I'm going to always use the medical term, morbidly obese, significantly overweight, hundreds of pounds overweight, and you're trying to make a change. You will always run across people who want to offer assistance. Some of them are very well-meaning. Some of them are just, for lack of a better term, jerks. But, it's basically going to be your existence. So what I want to encourage you is to, if you don't have a thick skin, no pun intended, but if you don't have a thick skin like myself and can just let what people say roll off your back, then, we can give you some advice in this particular video clip as to understanding that sometimes even people who are helpful will say things that may discourage you, but you can't let them discourage you because you know where you are in your journey and they do not know where you are in your journey. So I'm in the gym and this guy comes over to me and he's telling me that he sees me doing shoulder presses. I'm doing a dumbbell shoulder press and I'm doing it with 5 pounds. It was my smallest set of the day, but I only went up to 20 pounds. I go 5, 10, 15, 20. So it's not heavy, especially for someone of my size. And the guy comes over and starts telling me how I should be lifting more weights. I need to build muscle, to burn fat, all these other things, which I'm well aware of. But I'm explaining to him that, I said, dude, a week ago, I was sitting in my house watching TV. I ate a whole pizza, a whole hoagie, which is a sub, depending on what region of the country you're in, 2 bags of chips, and a 2-liter soda while watching the game. I said, so if I just came to the gym today and stared at the treadmill, it's an improvement over what I was doing last week. And, he quietly walked away after that because you have to let people know, I'm in this for the long haul. I'm trying to improve every day on what I did the previous day. It may not look like what you think a workout should look like. It may not look like what you think is best for me, but I'm doing what's best for me and I'm making every effort. And all I need is, support and encouragement from other people to know that where my journey is specific to me. And the other one is on the food side. I had some friends and acquaintances chime in on the Facebook page because a couple of days in the last week I've had what I guess they consider to be not healthy eating days. But also, alongst the same premise, as far as eating is concerned, I have not gotten to the point in my journey, in the 2.5 weeks that I've started this, where I am paying any attention to what I eat, other than 2 of the 5 priorities that I'm up to. And as I told you when I started, I add a priority every week. The first week I had 3, and then I added 1 in week 2 and 1 this week. So the first 3 priorities, if you remember, were to drink a gallon of water a day. I knocked my gallon out for the day. It was to not eat after 8 p.m., and it was to drink no calories except for protein shakes. It's big because you can drink pounds onto you with sugary drinks and sodas and coffee with sugar and cream. So cutting that out was very helpful for me. And that was priority 1. Priority 1, 2, and 3 for week 1. Nowhere in there did it say have 8 servings of vegetables, eat fruit, don't eat fried chicken. Nowhere in it did it say that. These are the priorities that I chose for week 1. Those other priorities are on the list, but they're way further down, weeks to be added. So week 2, the priority was to add 20 minutes of working out 3 times a week. As you know, I've been working out more than 20 minutes from the very beginning, but once again, this is a bare minimum standard that I'm holding myself to, which is the 20 minutes 3 days a week. And this week, the new priority was to eat within 1 hour of waking, which is the old adage of eat breakfast. And that's very difficult for me because I don't like to eat in the morning, believe it or not. And I can see medically, as I learn more about metabolism and things of that nature, where it's probably been a very deciding factor in me gaining weight is eating later in the day. Although I did speak to a trainer who told me it doesn't matter what time of day you eat, it's all about total calories consumed, and that's an argument for another day. So going back to the post on my Facebook page, it was basically 2 different days, last Saturday when I was in Las Vegas and Monday when I went to the Monday Night Football game, that I post my food that I ate for the day, which I do every day. And on Saturday, the only thing I ate the entire day was a whole pizza. It was a pepperoni and sausage pizza. I had 4 slices for lunch, 4 slices for dinner. I did not eat breakfast that day. I slept really, really late because I was in Vegas. But I Googled the per slice calorie content for a pizza of that stature and was told it was 300 calories a slice. 8 times 300 is 24 calories. 2,400 calories is actually substantially less than someone who's 250 pounds, who's working out a full workout every day should eat. And I'm 470 some pounds, or at least I was on October 1st. So calorie-wise, that was a great day for me. Now, was it a balanced meal? In no circumstances will I say it was, and I agree with you that there were no vegetables. I could have put some peppers on the pizza or something, but I chose not to. But once again, as I sit here and try and make a lifestyle for myself that I can stick to, I'm not going to go from eating 3 pizzas a day, 2 subs, chips, Snickers, Kit Kats, all the stuff that I've eaten, to having a salad, oatmeal for breakfast, and grilled chicken for dinner, which is what people tell you to do. It's ridiculous, and no one can stick to that. I mean, I don't say no one. There are people who have significant willpower, although most of those people don't allow themselves to become 400 and some pounds in the first place. But, I don't doubt that there's someone who could flip a switch and go from being completely sedentary to being in the gym 3 hours a day, and who could go from eating 7,000 calories a day to eating grilled chicken and oatmeal all day. But I'm not that dude. So I'm doing what is best for me and the surest way to keep having gradual improvement every day. The Monday night, I was even more cognizant of what I ate. I went to the same trip a year ago. It's a casino trip that gets sponsored once a year. I go to Vegas, stay at the Paris Hotel in Las Vegas, and then they fly me on the Caesars Entertainment G5 from Vegas to San Diego. We stay at another casino in San Diego and then go to the game. So last year we went to the Dolphins-Chargers game, and the suite had hot dogs, pizza, beer, soda, chips, cookies, pretzels, nachos, chicken tenders, meatball, everything you can imagine in the suite, free, refilling all day. And I ate the entire time I was there, and didn't even get up from the sofa to watch the game at all. I watched it on one of the TVs and just ate because that's what I like to do. This year, knowing that I could never put myself in a position to avoid social situations where food may be the center point of the situation, I planned out my day better this time. I want to get to a point in my life where food is a secondary issue or thought. And that's a very big thing for me. That's one of my major goals. I don't have a weight goal, but I do have that as a goal. Because right now, I think about food constantly. I think about food. If I go to somewhere where there's food and someone's supposed to be talking, I'm focused on the food and not on them talking. I could, as I said in the earlier videos, you could put a pound of cocaine in front of me and I would have no interest in sniffing that. I don't do drugs. So that's not my problem, whereas a cokehead would, not be worried about the food that's over there. They'd want to put their face in the cocaine. My problem is that I would love to eat the food and try and beat everybody to it so I can get my share of what I want. And in this particular instance, I had a bagel for breakfast. I did not eat again until I got to the game because I wanted to have the rest of my food consumption spread over that 3-hour period. And over that 3-hour period, I had 2 hot dogs. I took the meatballs, about 4 of the smaller meatballs, put them on a hot dog roll and had a meatball sandwich. I had a slice of pizza, a macadamia nut cookie, and 1 chicken tender, and maybe a handful of Fritos. I think it would be a handful or less. So that was my complete consumption for the day. And when I posted that, the first response I got was, where are your vegetables? And this is unhealthy, and some other comments, to which I don't doubt that there's a more balanced way to construct a meal. And I wasn't specific telling anybody that I was at a football game and this is why or what was offered. But I purposely ate that way and felt as though when the day was over, once again, because I only ate a bagel for breakfast, other than that, had I decided to have a bagel for breakfast, 2 hot dogs for lunch, a small slice of pizza, because the pizza was very, very slimly sliced, a small slice of pizza and a meatball sandwich for dinner, and for that dinner to have a dessert of a cookie. Anybody who has any idea of what calorie content all that stuff has would have or should have said, you're not eating enough. Because that probably was a total of 2,200 calories for the day, maybe 2,600 tops. And, it wasn't spread out throughout the day. It was consumed in a 3-hour period from 5:30 to 8:30 Pacific Standard Time, but it was still a pre-calculated consumption that I had planned for myself, quote unquote. I guess people give themselves cheat days. I don't look at it as a cheat day. I look at it as it could have been any particular day. It was just what I was going to eat that day. And I quote unquote banked my calories for that session. So that was that day, and I've been now back. It was funny because of the 15 days before the game, I had vegetables every day, almost in every meal. I was eating vegetable omelets, I was eating salads, and the one day I post that I had, a couple of hot dogs and a meatball sandwich, everybody's like, you get it, hire a nutritionist because you don't have enough vegetables. And I actually am quite aware on both the working outside and the eating side on what ideal healthy living is supposed to look like. As I said before, I was a Division I football player, had training table. I know the food groups, the color on your plate for a balanced meal, but I am moving to that, and that's a ways off, I'll be honest with you. My first weigh-in will be on November 1st, and I doubt 2 weeks from now I'll still be focused on that part of the journey. That'll probably come a couple months from now after I've lost 70, 80 pounds and things start to get a little difficult with losing weight. Because right now losing weight's easy for me. I can tell I'm losing weight without having to step on the scale. But when I drop this first 70, 80 pounds, I will start to slow down in how I lose weight, and my workouts will need to be more intense, and my eating will need to be more structured. And that is what I'm trying to do. If you were to watch me work out today, some people may laugh and say, this dude is, wasting his time in the gym. But once again, for me, I'm laying the groundwork for future workouts. Getting to the gym is more important than what I do in the gym right now. It's establishing the habit that every day I belong in the gym. And eating right is something that's going to come from stopping the bad eating. It's a transition. It's not an instant process. I think the number one reason people fall off of lifestyle changes or diets, God forbid, is that the deprivation starts to wear on you and you start to say, I'm not doing what I used to do. I'm gradually putting myself in a position that a year from now, when I look at what I'm doing versus what I've done in the past, I will have no comparison to what I did a year prior to that day because it won't look the same. And for me, it would have been a gradual change and not a sudden change. So I did promise a few people that I would answer to those points on this video, and I hope that you've tuned in and got sufficient answers. By all means, I don't take personal any criticism. I want the criticism, so it gives me something to have for conversation for the video. Continue to post. Tell your friends, and then anyone who knows anybody who's heavy and struggling with weight, by all means, point them in this direction. I want to encourage people to take, control of their life and control of food, and, that this is completely doable. So, once again, I thank you all for tuning in. Lose it with me. I love you soon. I love you all. I'll see you soon. Bye.